Hey guys, it's Tony here at Gamefreakblog again, just bringing you another video. This time I'm combining a couple of videos. I'm combining, first of all, the Game Freaks Revisit series, in which I asked some of the viewers out there in the Twitter world, the readers of my blog, to send in requests for games to review. So this one came in from oldboy666. I don't know whether to thank you or kick you in the nuts for this one. But as you can see, this is the PS2 game, The Getaway, which was released in 2002 by Soho Games. I'm also putting this video up just because I've had a lot of people moaning at me on the blog via email and via Twitter, sending me messages saying, well, why don't you review any PlayStation games? You're merely Xbox centric. It's like, I'm just reviewing fucking games, you know. I'm not like a fanboy or whatever. But anyway, to shut you whining maggots up, I've put this PS2 game out here. So let's just jump in and have a quick look.
Yeah, what's with a bird, Harry?
She's one of Charlie's specials.
Specials?
Special people with special jobs.
With special needs. Now, if you, it's essentially the game. If you haven't played it, you know, don't rush out and get it because it's a crock of shit. But when it came out, if you imagine kind of like GTA, the Grand Theft Auto games via Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, with absolutely shite controls and some stupid design decisions, you'd be pretty much someone there. With it's also got some unintentionally hilarious comedy dialogue. So I'm basically just playing through the intro setup to the game right until you know, so it just plans out the story, exactly what's happening, and up till that point. So let's just have a listen at some of this. It's comedy gold, I tell you.
Said I'd be working with professionals, not a bunch of bloody has-beens.
That's it, here they come.
Not a bunch of bloody has-beens.
Watch and learn something. You move when I tell you to move. Or wait till they've locked the door. The first rule, never leave a transaction an obvious route of escape. Let's go.
I thought you said not to move.
Transaction? Christ, what a bitch.
Yeah, bitch. The actual main bad guy in this, I can't remember his name, Charlie or something. He's got hands down the best video game voice of all time, but we'll see him in a bit.
We'd like to ask you. Yeah? Who's asking? We'd like to discuss this in private if we could. You're not the police. Since when the police start dressing like common tarts?
Ooh, that was out of left field. What the fuck? Yeah. I usually sleep in my suit. That's the most comfortable thing I sleep in. Never mind pyjamas or underpants. I sleep in a nice Savile Row three-piece suit. In the car, you little fucker. Go, 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 go!
Don't worry, Suze.
Get our boy back.
Get up, boy!
Get our boy.
Oh, the emotion.
Suze!
Oh my god! I'm in this bad game! Oh! So here we jump into the first bit, which the driving game, which the if you can imagine trying to control a fucking giant metal skip, that's about as responsive as it is. There was one little thing that I thought was kind of, when I first played the game, I thought it was kind of interesting, which is like you don't get any kind of directions. There's no real heads-up display. Everything's kind of told you throughout the game. So there's no, you fucking white van driving bastard. There's no like great big arrow saying go this way. If you kind of see the corners that you're meant to be taking are dictated to by the indicators. So if it's indicating left, it will start going slowly and then speed up for the turn that you need to be taking. But thinking about it, you know, like now when I was playing through this, it's almost like you've got a fucking psychic car. It's just the car's actually, oh yeah, it's like a really bad cockney kit from Knight Rider. Yeah, let's go this way, Michael. Way down the apples and pears. Ah, enough of that. Here we go. Sorry, I won't do that again. Or maybe a couple of times, but. Now, the actual big selling point for this game was that they digitally recreated London. They took like 92 trillion thousand high-res images and accurately mapped most of London. And for the most part, it's stunning. You know, really ahead of its time. You know, if you know your way around London at all, you can actually drive around London. It's a really impressive thing, but. As what the usual case is for these games, I think sometimes the idea for the game was just marred by the technology of the time. You know, they've managed to get the city in, they've rendered the city, it's populated, it looks good. You know, it's a very, very accurate representation, but unfortunately they left the rest of the game out. We'll talk about a few of the dodgy design decisions as we're going on, but I'm just trying to, you can probably see the car on the horizon that I've got to try and flag down. I've got my little screaming wimp of a kid in there. And again, unlike the GTA games where they've got like made-up kind of cars, they were actually all kind of licensed. So you've got, you know, Range Rovers, Ford Transits, all this kind of thing. The Hackney cabs. You know, it's pretty well done. But it's, I don't know. You know, I can't help but wonder what like a Rockstar version of it would have been like. Why don't they just set GTA in London and make it fantastic? And yeah, like I said, you do get into different vehicles throughout the game during like different missions that you've got to do. Such as, you know, there's all sorts of characters in it. You typically, if you've seen any film like Snatch or Lock, Stock, you know the characters are pretty much as general as you can get. You've got your triads, your yardies, and your cockney Londoners, your cockney white boys. Yeah, fuck you. Some of the dialogue of the people when you're sorry, I was just listening in. When you're smashing their cars, there's always this American guy who just like goes, "Hey, I just had that painted," or something. So here we go. In a second, we're going to get out on foot and start shooting. It's actually really bad. Going back to these games, there's no kind of like stick control for your camera. So you just end up kind of like spawning out. It's hold your right one trigger down to aim, hit X for shoot. You know, you can roll about, not X, sorry, square for shoot. You can roll about, you know, do little side rolls, forward rolls and things like this with the X button. You can take cover, but it's fucking useless. It really is. I remember it being fairly alright when I played it when it first came out, but going back to it now, it's like trying to play something with two arms. Yeah. Hammond.
You're not playing fair. Try and...
Shut it, you toad. You toilet. Now, I've actually got the game instruction manual here, if you can listen. And the guy who designed this game, let's have a look in here. Design. There's a guy called Chun Wah Kong, who is the lead designer of the game. And I think it must have been him that came up with the idea, the absolute fantastic, never been seen before idea, that when Mark Hammond, the character that you're playing here, when he's running around, he's getting into gunfights, he's getting shot up like a little bit, it gives you a visual representation of the damage that he's taking. So you start to see blood stains on his clothes. He'll start to limp a little bit more. He'll just get a little bit generally sluggish. Now, the fantastic idea that it had to kind of heal yourself is to lean up against a wall. That's right, lean up against a wall. You'll see it in a second here after I'm taking a bit of beating. You lean up against a wall and magically all of your wounds heal. The blood goes away from you. It's literally drained out of the fabric of your clothing. You become an able-bodied person again. It's one of the dumbest fucking design decisions I've ever heard, whatever in a game before. I don't know what the fucking Chungar Wang, whatever the guy's name is, was. Here, look. Look. It's no more realistic than picking up a fucking health pack, is it? You know, it's absolutely fucking stupid. You know, I think they were trying to bang. I think they were trying to go for like realism, which, you know, there should be you can give them a few props for trying something different, but leaning against a fucking wall when a health pack wouldn't have been any more less stupid. It just beggars belief. He deserves to be fucking dragged out into the street and crucified for that. I haven't actually played the sequel to this, the Getaway Black Monday, I think it was called, but if it's anything like this, I never ever fucking will. From what I can remember, it's even worse. So it kind of intercedes. You've got all these missions with Mark Hammond, and you bump into this police officer in several missions of the game, and then it's kind of Pulp Fiction style interface. You kind of play as the cop, going around and mopping up after what Hammond's done and all this kind of thing. But it's, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I may just play through it again and upload a few more bits of video just as I'm going through, just to see how truly terrible the game gets. But see, the guys there just like walking past. Didn't you hear the fucking 12-bore shotgun going on down the stairwell, 50 feet away from him? Stupid design decisions like this in the game it just brings me out of it. It really brings me out of the game. It's stupid. There's some bits that I like, when Hammond runs out of ammo. There's no just magical ammo clips. When he runs over a gun, he'll bend down, scoop up, pick up the gun. That kind of realism's fine. I'm really, really happy with that. But leaning up against the goddamn fucking wall to heal yourself, it was never a good idea, was it? Never a good idea.